Recording in progress.
Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I start with a point of information, please? Is this meeting going to be run by Robert's Rules of Order? Because it's the first one I've ever been to, and I want to be respectful.
If you have questions, we don't do it that way, but if you have questions, you raise your hands, or if you want to talk, raise your hands and we will call on you.
So, there's not going to be old business, new business?
We do old business, new business and stuff. Right by the agenda, there is an agenda copies over there if you would like an agenda.
Yes, I would like one.
Right on the back table.
That's important. I don't want to disrupt the meeting.
Yep.
So, showing respect to you people.
Nope, thank you. So that tells you exactly the order of business that we're going to conduct the meeting in.
Thank you.
Okay, consideration of changes or additions to the agenda. I have nothing in them. Jeff?
No, I'm good.
There's nothing on my end, you guys. Sorry, I'm here.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't receive anything else, so the agenda should be good.
Perfect, thank you, Caitlin.
Wait, what about our issue about the roads?
Well, that's going to come under new business.
Well, I think it says dust control in Shonpike. Should that be?
Yeah, can we
It
suspend
should
business
be
and go
workable.
right to the hot
Should be
potato here
workable.
tonight?
So
Thank you.
we'll get to that down on the agenda.
Okay.
So maybe we just make a
And I
note
did ask if
to
we could
change
suspend
Shonpike to
it.
Hortonville. I think it should have said Hortonville on item 5A.
Well,
too.
it doesn't matter because people on Shunpike are complaining too.
Okay, so
And-
we'll just we're
Hortonville.
just going to talk dust
About
control within the town.
Perfect. Thank you.
So all right, considerations. We did that one change for dust control over the whole town. So approval of August 14th and 22nd minutes. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the August 14th and 22nd minutes.
I'll second it. The ayes?
Aye.
Aye. And I do apologize. Our third member is out of town and is not able to be here. And Caitlin is on Zoom. So. The ayes, I'm writing in chat. Okay, moving on to highway and transfer station report. Clinton?
We're working on Shunpike Road. We've got the whole dug. We got one piece set already. Should have it all set and at least the road opens back up to traffic. Hopefully tomorrow. It'll still be narrow, but we can at least open it up to traffic so they can start going through. Yeah, A&R was there this morning. He looked at it. He's all happy with it, the way it's going and everything. So we did get his blessing. The transfer station, Chad's basically took that over from me because of everything else going on. I do know that Ken and Kevin are going to be away this weekend. So, and Chad's not going to be around, so Bob's going to be the only one there. So, I don't, it's either that or we close it for the weekend.
Right.
That'll work.
Okay.
I don't know what else to do.
No, and I know we've been advertising and reaching out to receive another attendant, but we have had no success at this point in time.
I offered
Yes.
to one of the guys on this board that I would fill in the past. Please excuse the expression, I don't know his name, he's a black guy, he's on the board here in Mount Holly, and I was lied to. Kenny, who was it?
I don't know.
Nobody knows, okay, I apologize. I'm wearing my orchard.
How long ago?
Last week, and I met him down at, the, Jiffy Mart. But, that's okay. He said he was on the board of something in Mount Holly, so. But, I really don't care. I'm retired. I feel glad I give back to my community.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to jump in at the last minute, but
Right.
but I will if it needs be.
So
I don't want to dump clothes, because
So-
that's a health issue.
So what I would suggest is, putting in a letter to Caitlin.
I don't want the job that bad, I just thought I'd fill in,
Okay.
to help you people.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't need the money.
Yep.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Ken Sicardo, transfer station attendant.
Yep.
I have a few comments to make about the transfer station. I can do it during public comment, or if now's an appropriate time, that'd be my preference. Does that work for you?
That works now.
Okay, great.
We're talking about the transfer station now.
Exactly. Regarding staffing, my suggestion is a part-time employee that's partly town, garage, and transfer station. That way you can, instead of putting an ad in for, you might get hours, you might not. Maybe you can get somebody 10 hours, because Kevin and I are probably gonna need, a day off a month. I mean, according to my hiring, as you know, every 6 weeks I go down to Boston for about a week, so I miss a day. So there's that. What prompted me to be here today is, I've been employed by this town and this governing body for about 5 months, and it's going well. Like it, met a lot of people. There's been a couple of days where it's rained, and I've had the opportunity to use the warming hut to stay dry. And it really smells bad in there, as anyone who has ever been in there knows. So I took it upon myself to buy a Home Depot mold kit, and I did run that test on Saturday, and there is mold in the building. So I wanted to bring that to the board's attention. So personally, I won't be using the building this winter. I'll just be in my car to stay warm if need be. But that might be something to address. My suggestion is maybe the building can be repurposed if you want to consider receiving bulbs, batteries, etc. Maybe we can strip it out and still use the structure. So that's what prompted me to be here today. And I do have the test kit with me. I'm going to send it out to the lab for a cost of $40, and I'll be sending that out probably tomorrow. And then also there's the porta potty, which was shelved a couple of months ago, so perhaps some solution regarding the warming hut and a porta potty might come into fruition together. So that's pretty much all I got. Oh, just that apparently now I'm the guy that calls in the containers, which is fine. I called Casella yesterday, and as Bobby said, Chad is hands-on there, flattening containers, doing well, and I'm trying to work with Chad and keep things running smooth.
Okay, this is the first I think we've heard of mold in the warming building, so we haven't heard that before. But we will make
It was a
sure
surprise to me too. It's just really stinky.
we will make sure that is addressed, because we want to make sure
It's a health issue.
we want to make sure everybody, as I've said before to the town crew, anybody that's working for the town and the town folks, we want them all to be healthy and safe. So,
Thank you.
yep,
May I?
yes.
Seeing it's a health issue, why haven't these guys been given a porta potty? I don't understand that. Are they supposed to be like a bear out in the woods? That's a health issue.
So
They should have a pot
we
there.
had them there before, didn't we?
Yeah,
But
So
why aren't they there now?
it freezes and then they crack and they just stop raining.
Yeah, okay.
Vermont.
Your lines just came out.
I mean,
Oh.
And the guys were going home
Well-
if they had to go,
Your chair.
you know.
You can call.
since
Yeah,
it
we
was
go
dropped,
home.
I never
They must
left the
have- they must have
job to
some
go home to pee.
Yeah, they must have some that are
Some
antifreeze.
secret.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We'll-
you
we'll-
got it, and
we'll look into that on somebody that has one that is antifreeze for the winter.
May it be noted that I told Kevin that Kenny that I was interested in the job too. Will you confirm that, Kevin?
I remember you mentioned that to Kevin. That you were,
I mentioned to you too.
did you mention it to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess a letter to Caitlin is always the first step.
Okay.
That's the first, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Go through the proper channels, understood.
Hubbard or-
Was it Hubbard's or? We can reach out. We'll reach out. We'll reach out. There's a lot of them around that we can reach out to.
Probably A1 would be the best.
Yep.
I just got a permit for London to put a tank in their transfer station so they can have a bathroom there. So that's
Okay, we'll look at one and see what we can do to have it antifreeze for the winter.
Back to highway, Beaver Meadow culvert, RFP. Is that for the box or?
With the pipe.
Okay.
The temp, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
You
didn't
got-
know
you
if
got
it was
another
for
one.
engineering or.
Engineering, and then we'll go to construction after the engineering.
Okay.
I'll get it out in the next couple days. I just got.
I thought it was for the engineering, but I just.
It is
I went-
engineering.
Okay.
Probably be like 6 months, and then construction. I would say March or something.
Yeah.
February,
Okay.
March.
I called, the excavator needs service.
Mm-hmm.
I called Sandy, and they're coming down, they're gonna do a complete service on it, $1,200,
Mm-hmm.
so.
That's actually not that bad.
That's,
That's not that bad.
I got it, I had them send it in text message, so,
Yeah, that's
cause, I mean,
no, that's
5 gallon, $200.
so.
On the transfer station, I've been playing phone tag too with Abel, just to follow up kind of with your conversation, just to see what the cost would really be to
Mm-hmm.
go a different route. than the
Different
transfer,
route.
than the transfer station.
Okay.
So I'll keep playing phone tag. I'll get on one of these times.
So, here we go. The dust control. I called Innovation, they came last week, I sat down with them, spoke with them. You're looking about $30,000 for dust control. For a year,
Yeah,
Town-
compare it to
townwide.
medical bills.
for everything.
Yeah.
Spraying once.
That's
or twice.
with their tank, their pump, it's a complete
It's
unit.
expensive.
It's
There.
$1.11 a gallon. It's a 3-year contract. After the 3 years, you can buy the unit, or you can renew the contract. By renewing the contract, if anything breaks on the machine, they fix it. And he said that usually they have spares, so they'll bring you one and then take one. He said with the amount of roads that we got and the quantity is roughly 30,000 gallons a year that you should be using.
So that's a bulk tank at the garage.
That's 5,000 gallon, 2 bulk tanks,
Yeah,
2,500 gallon bulk tanks.
yeah.
And then the 950 gallon tank with the pump and the sprayer on a skid in the back of the 550.
How many gallons? In the tank, in the truck? How many gallons?
It's 950 gallon tank. I know Shrewsbury uses them, and he said that Shrewsbury roughly uses about that amount too. Plymouth, they're right around 20,000 gallons. But the price that he gave us is on that 30,000 gallons.
So if you get 20,
I mean, he said this year is understandable because it's so late in the year that you're not gonna use that, and it's not. Excuse me. You're not binded to use that 30,000 gallons.
yeah,
But he said that if it,
next year you'll revisit the
you
price.
might have,
Yeah.
they might revisit the price, but
Right.
I know Shrewsbury's paying $1.16 a gallon. So,
So 5% more.
Yeah.
but
Okay.
Do you know how?
Paul?
Briefly, if you could, could you explain what and why this dust control? I'm completely, half the roads in town are dirt roads, and I grew up with them all being dirt. I'm just,
I'd like
I
to
think-
address that.
Let me before we go totally sideways
Yes.
here, because I'm concerned
'Cause it's right.
about this going sideways. I think there are some roads in town that are heavily traveled that may, such as Hortonville,
Thank
that
you.
see more trucks. So I think the roads, like my road, I don't get really any dust off of my road. Maybe, I think the other struggle is we've got long periods of dry weather more often than not, and we just came out of a long period of dry
Not our
weather.
fault.
Hmm?
It's not our fault, dry weather.
Well, wait,
No,
should
it
be
isn't,
no
but
dust.
I'm saying
That's-
the weather's patterns
Yes, and
seemingly
changing
changing a
right
little
away.
bit here.
Right.
it is, and they just got done grading the roads, which, again, they're
Yeah,
not
you're
packed
not-
down, they're not
Tech-
packed down, and they're dusting
into
off.
Hard
that-
pack is hard pack. When you take
So-
a grader and loosen it,
It's
my wife is
it's
starting-
the option. Can I before this gets sidetracked? Because there's a lot of
I'm
it's
sorry,
not
you're
as
doing a
simple
good job.
as
I apologize.
there's
I'm very spirited.
there are recommendations that he's not supposed to touch the roads
Mhm.
when it's dry out,
Yes.
which would then mean this summer that likely you probably wouldn't touch the roads for 2.5 months.
Yep.
So it's a balance
I
of
got pictures.
it's a balance of grading, or it's a balance of grading and then creating more dust.
Correct.
And then, so then that's where, and this is to answer Paul's question, where if you do grade them, then you do got to start spraying them more.
I'd
So,
like to add to his question, his answer.
and I think the aggregate that was probably used when you were a kid is probably different than the
It
aggregate
sure
that's
is.
being
Right.
used.
Yeah.
A lot of that was natural. Now we're back into processed aggregate.
Correct.
Something's
crushed.
changed, definitely, yeah, so.
In the past 10 years, there's been really, I think, in this county, more of a shift to processed aggregate
It
versus
is.
a natural gravel aggregate. Like in Rutland at Al Nicky's, it was natural gravel, and that's
It's
where a lot of
totally,
the
it's,
gravel.
it's a crushed limestone.
So there's things changing that are
So-
finally just catching up here.
So, you had your hand up.
Yeah, so just want to establish, we've been here for 80 years, it was all dirt roads and we loved them. And then there was paving, we were not happy with that, and now we have this, it's not dirt, it's aggregate, crushed, either marble or dolomite or limestone, which carries silica in it, cancer-causing silica if it's kicked up, like it has been on our roads. I have never seen anything like this. This is just dust from a dirt road. This is potential cancer-causing crystalline silica from crushed dolomite or crushed limestone. It's considered 1A carcinogen if inhaled repeatedly. And we have been inhaling this stuff repeatedly. It's gotten so bad on our roads. You know, we're having, I went for a walk, 2 cars went by, I'm still sniffling, and that was 4 days ago. Still having watering eye, and this is what they consider carcinogenic. So it's not dirt roads anymore. So is there any way we can change the material maybe, or go back to dirt roads or pave? What are our choices here? For some of us, this is becoming a health hazard.
$30,000 or our health. That's the choices.
Well, I don't know if that's, but yes. So what are our choices? I'm just trying to find out what our choices are.
I graded it the other day and I put calcium chloride on it that same day. And I was over there Monday morning and the dust was a third,
It rained.
2/3 of what it was
it rained and the calcium.
Yeah.
The calcium does start reacting.
Yeah.
With the additional moisture. Like,
It does.
Not
the dust
fair,
is.
that wasn't a fair answer.
I don't think we're here to say the dust is acceptable. Like we're not.
Thank
saying,
you.
Saying the dust. I'm not saying. I
No.
can't speak for Mark.
So there has been a shift in the materials, and that's caused a difference in this dust that's kicking up.
It's been the same material since, long before.
Well,
Are
it's
different-
different this
are
year.
different batches, I mean, the batches that you get, are they different because
If
this
they're,
is just,
if it's a brand new batch that they're making, because they can't keep up with the material, then yeah, it's fine, and it doesn't pack.
It's crushed stone.
right, which has the dust on it, right, which is getting picked
Yeah.
up.
When you can spec a slightly less fine material, it's not going to be that much different. But there are like sieves and analysis.
Yeah.
200.
Our driveway, which is hardpack, does not do this, so.
Mine either, but I get
Yeah,
mine
so
from
we don't have-
Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the traffic that Shrewsbury Road has.
You know,
Right,
you get
which gets,
more-
Correct.
And you also just get the aggregate crushing as from the truck traffic causing dust.
Correct. It's crushing the stone.
Shrewsbury traffic is going, I must have 20 16-wheelers a day going. I thought they were paving our road. I go, yes, right,
I
and
think
they're
they
going
were-
to
they were
Shrewsbury.
paving.
They were.
I live on Shrewsbury Road, I might add, everybody. And may I address your issue, Paul, please?
Say again?
May I address your issue about
Yeah,
what's going on?
let's one at a time and go ahead.
Okay, my name is Paul Wong. Let's get off to a right start, man. Many of you probably knew my mother, Bernie Wellen. You do? It's okay. She died, and I'm here now. And I've been coming here since 1977, since I built this house. I don't really have a home. I was a journeyman iron worker. I went all over the world and many states to work. So I just retired, and I come. Since we've been up here, my wife has had RSV, 16 days in intensive care. Now she's on oxygen the rest of her life. They cut the road off. Two houses to go except Scarzello's, and they're never here. Okay? 2 houses. They couldn't leave the, and I know what they're gonna say. Well, it's wetlands and it's frost heaves, but I drove on them roads for years and they were fine. I just think there's something going on here that's wrong. I mean, the job of government is to take care of the people and make sure they're safe and healthy. And I don't feel we're getting that right now. My brakes, I went through 3 brake jobs within a year from this dust. I'm not blaming the highway department. They're doing what they're told. I want to make that clear. And I hope you don't take it personally, because I'm not. But this is not right. We got pictures if you want to see. If you look at the plants on the side of the road, I got a leaf the other day, went like this, one next to it. You want to see the difference in color. This is what we're breathing. I shouldn't have to live in my own house with a goddamn mask. I'm sorry. This is how I feel. And if somebody was hemming and hawing about $30,000, you ought to see the medical bills that I got. Thank God Medicare's taking care of them, because that's just how it is. I'm really upset over this. This should be addressed. It was, Jesus, they couldn't go another half a mile with the paving around the corner. And not to mention, on this paving, I'm having kids going by drifting. That's the new thing. So the dust is coming up. We had 20, like at least 20 16-wheelers the other day, and they're going to Shrewsbury using our roads. I thought I saw a sign that, you know, there was a weight limit at one point on this road. They took that down. I don't know what happened. I mean, why should, let them go through Shrewsbury. Keep some of the dust down. Can that be mentioned? And I'm sorry, I'm just very spirited on this because my wife is very, very ill. I have COPD.
Yeah, and I don't
I'm
know.
not blaming it on the SurePack. I was a welder, I'm fair enough, but it sure isn't helping. Everybody past the stop sign or past the last house after the asphalt ends is over 60. They're all 65 actually, and you know.
Yeah, I know
We
that's
should take care of these people.
that's the
This
one
is
we're
not
trying.
right.
The one we're putting. We put grants in to get repaved, and we have
Thank
been,
you.
we have been denied the grant
3 years in a row.
three
that?
3 years in a row from the state. So
Okay.
it's not, that section of the road is not
Like
going
I
to stay
said,
that way
I'll be talking-
forever. It's
I'll
going
be
to be
talking-
paved, but
So is there anything we can do to put pressure on this?
Thank
city
you
to get
people
this
for at
done?
least listening to me, and I hope I addressed your issue about why
I
it needs
don't
to be
know
done.
that.
And
I know
I
we
will
put
show
in
you
for grants every
videos
year, and we're
and
gonna put in
pictures
again
of the dust.
So if
for a
there's any
grant.
question we can apply from a health
So-
perspective, we might be happy to organize
So I don't know if there's anything the public can do for that.
I don't think they're
Yes,
issuing
Paul.
grants to anybody. They're not really issuing paving grants to towns.
Okay.
Just,
I'm on a dirt road, I have dust too, and I live
Don't
with
touch me.
uh,
it. Be quiet or leave.
some of you may know me, my family's been here for a
I
little
live
while.
here. You
My
I do too.
Oh, hey.
He says I don't live here.
I'm saying order to the meeting for everybody. For everybody.
I'll get it too, okay?
For everybody.
Don't touch me.
You're
My first
distracted.
ancestor was Thomas
You're distracted.
Wasson, who scouted this area starting in 1730. The reason 103 and the railroad is out there is because Thomas found the easiest way to get across the Green Mountains. My first ancestors to build a home in this town did so in the 1780s. We've been here ever since. All of my ancestors buried within 30 miles of the spot. As a matter of fact, when Thomas was here, there wasn't even a footpath, so you didn't have to worry about a lot of dust coming up. My question that I was trying to ask was, if this treatment to these dirt roads is necessary, with all the dirt roads that we do have, looking to the future, I can see a major expense of having to put this treatment down on dirt roads year after year after year. There's got to be some other more rational, practical reason, because ever since the 1780s, we've lived with dirt roads. I remember when Belmont had no paved roads. We drove on all dirt roads. Okay, I learned to drive on dirt roads. But this is a problem, because if you're gonna have to put treatment down on dirt roads, I'm not gonna be here to see it, but it's gonna cost you a great deal of effort and money. There's got to be a more rational, pragmatic Vermont way of dealing with this. We're not downtown Burlington. We're up in the mountains in a rural country town that may have problems that are decided to
Since
a rural country town.
Yep.
Thank you for allowing me to speak.
So,
just to kind of find a happy medium, because we don't have 30K budgeted in this
No,
year's
we don't.
budget, but we certainly can. It seems like we have a couple of focused roads, whether it's Shunpike and Hortonville.
yes.
We self-perform even with direct spread of calcium timed with weather, which is often what
I mean,
we
that's
do.
why I did it
Often-
Friday, because it was. it
Well, I'm
rained
thinking not
Saturday.
even liquid calcium, just
Huh?
spread
No, that's what
pellets.
we use.
That's what he
Okay,
did.
that's what
I
he did.
actually,
I went and got a tank from
Clinton
Mark.
called me up and I donated
And-
one of my tanks.
No, I'm saying spread the pellets direct.
Well, if we're gonna get into rain, yes.
We'd have to time it correctly.
Yes, and I don't know when.
Because you can only put so much down with a tank.
Correct.
Well, yeah, I mean, we used
And
200 pounds of calcium
So-
to
And a whole bunch
3
of
tanks
gallons.
of
Yeah.
Liquid.
liquid, so.
So this is not, we don't have 30K in this year's budget. We didn't budget it. But this is what we can do is
It's not overnight.
the high traffic roads that we're having the most dust on, we can get that more calcium chloride and just start spreading it out on those.
I don't know where you're gonna get it.
They don't have any.
White Cap. You should be able to get it from White Cap. It used to be like AHS. That's where I buy pallets of it for work.
So
It's
we'll,
on construction projects, we have to put it down.
Yeah.
We usually spread it and then we water it, so we're not destroying the tank.
right. So, well, he's got the tank, he's got the spreader.
It's not as good as
Ken?
Just a quick comment, it seems to be the no-brainer is, can we look for different aggregate, is that like possible?
Kinda like what we're asking.
Yeah, we
That
can,
seems to be
but
what's suggested among the citizens here.
come April, during mud season,
Oh.
you're gonna have a lot more mud than what you got right now.
That's
And-
something to consider.
In the Shrewsbury Road,
Mud doesn't
that's
get in my
crushed
lungs.
tar, right?
Yeah,
So that was the ground up tar that was put over the top.
yeah, that was just reclaimed.
Right. Okay, and that's the road that we're still shooting for a grant to repave.
Yeah.
So-
We've been,
Grant
Yes.
season is.
I don't wanna romanticize dirt roads, but I think what I'm hearing here is there much more work to take care of, is that right? Is that why we've switched to
There-
aggregate?
They're more expensive to maintain because you gotta pave them at a 10 to 15 year cycle.
Wait, dirt roads, I'm
Dirt-
talking
no,
about
no.
dirt
Paved
roads.
roads, they're actually cheaper, they're more work, but the method to maintain them is less expensive.
Yes.
So just wanna make it clear that we're not talking about dirt roads from 1780, although
Exactly.
they are in some places.
Nice try.
We're talking about roads that have been sure packed or hard packed. So question, are dirt roads easier to maintain or are they just a total nightmare?
They're harder. No, let me speak for you, but they're
Muddier.
harder for you. They're harder for the road crew to maintain
Okay.
because we subcontract out the paving,
Okay,
we're doing our best with the budget that we have to maintain the miles that we have.
right.
But a mile of road like that, I got to do the math because it changes, but it's like 300K a mile because you need 4 inches of asphalt now.
Okay, but I'm talking about literal dirt roads versus we have three things. We have old fashioned dirt roads, which everyone
I don't
loves.
think we have any more old-fashioned
No.
roads.
Okay,
They're all covered with.
that's what I'm asking you. Do we
Yeah.
actually have any dirt roads left in Vermont?
No, because they would be
Not
mud
all.
season. We did.
If you had the true dirt roads we had in the past, you would be axle deep in mud
Okay.
in the
okay,
spring.
Okay, that's what
So
I'm
they went to this crushed stone,
Yeah.
which is a firmer material. It binds better. It's less muddy in the spring.
Right.
So that's why we're at this. But if I'm not mistaken, the road that you folks are on is a reclaimed tar road right now because the road got so bad it was reclaimed tar. But that road is going to be repaved at some point as soon as the state releases a grant to us.
Okay.
So that's what we've been after, and we've been denied 3 years consecutive.
Or we would have to skip paving with our current budget. Skip paving for 2 years.
Yes.
And then outlay the 300K.
Yes.
Why pave it up to Shrewsbury? There's nobody that lives past Windy Hill Lane.
Because it's
They could
traffic.
stop right there. They can leave it open 100 yards past Windy Hill Lane, and nobody would really have a problem with that. It's coming into our homes. It's room, I mean, like,
I think the dust would travel 100 yards no matter what.
Yeah.
So the dust is going to travel.
well, it's about 2 miles, almost to a
So-
mile and a half from
And that
the
may be
corner.
in next year's
Shrewsbury.
paving.
Right.
We do look at.
We look
doing
at that. Partial pay.
$120,000
Partial pay.
a partial pay.
And we can look at that.
And take instead of waiting 3 years, just do it over 3 years until you catch up.
I was just trying to cut costs, just saying, we just don't want to breathe it.
So, yes, Paul.
I was gonna say something else, but, this is the second time I've been standing with my hand in the air, and he's just jumped in front of me instead of waiting to be called on in order. Thank
I
you.
asked if this meeting was gonna be with Robert Wood's
Well, I
orders,
was
didn't
standing
I?
behind you twice with my hand.
I
in the
can't
air
see you,
waiting.
brother.
Okay.
That's why
Okay.
he calls on you.
I'm going to stop it right here. We're going to move on from dust control. We know what we're going to do. We know the issues that we have. So
What are we gonna do?
If
Tell
you
me.
can find me or get
I
me a
can.
good
I'll
contract or
absolutely.
some material.
Yep.
let me
So
know.
we're
Gave it without a grant.
the town crew has got a tank that I donated to them, so they're going to spread it.
Cool.
We're going to find some calcium
Good
chloride.
to start.
We're gonna
Thank you.
find, and we did that already. They already put calcium chloride out through there.
Last week was
So-
a mess, and I never seen it so
So-
bad in my life.
Ballot by Friday.
So we'll get that, and we'll continue the dust
If I remember.
problem roads. So we're gonna move on from dust control. Treasurer's report.
Oh, no.
You're gonna do it this week?
No, that's in business. I get it.
Okay. Treasurer's report.
She didn't give me anything to highlight. I think the tax collections were about as normal, probably around 80%. Of course, the due date being in September, this is only up to August 31st, and so the last week is probably substantial, so that looks to be in line. Let's see. I did
Liz
look
did
at the
send
solid
a written
waste
report.
label
Would you guys
sales,
like
and
to
so
read
you're
it?
in line with what you had budgeted to receive, so. After that, it's with so much storm damage stuff going on, you really can't look at your budget. And it's too early in the year to see a trend in some areas, so fantastic. You can go to hell with your repair and maintenance last year.
Yes. You hit him in a different spot.
Yeah, she said she made a report, right? Caitlin?
You guys, I have the report. I don't know if you could hear me before. I have a written report from Liz. It's pretty brief. I can read it into the record if you like.
Perfect, that would be awesome.
Okay, great. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, okay, here are her main points. On the balance sheet, she said 60% of our annual taxes were paid in August. This is reflected in cash and accounts receivable. 2.5% of the total tax base was paid via the new direct debit option. So that was the ACH option that was new this year. 243,000 was received in reimbursements from FEMA related to the July flooding from last year. And the town has now fully paid off the flood-related loan with the receipt of the FEMA fund, so that's closed out. She also noted that the state treasurer issued the municipal equipment loan fund note of $110,000 with a term of 5 years at 2%. The note paid off the remainder of the community bank loan of $130,000 with a term of 5 years at 5.7%. And then on the profit and loss statement, Liz noted that there are continuing adjusting entries made to tax income due to late filings of the homestead declarations. Tax payments were the major activity this month, as David said. Liz said that the town realized discounts through September 5th and totaled just over $185,500 in discounts provided, compared to the $173,000 that was budgeted. She said there's little else of note. On the highway budget, work was largely completed on the state stormwater grant. Those funds were received last fiscal year, and that's all she has.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Yep.
Jeff, you have any questions?
No.
Clinton?
I just got one, it's not on the treasurer's report, it's on the highway.
Okay.
The paving for Shunpike, are we doing the whole project?
I thought the last thing we were going to do was the whole thing.
We were.
Okay.
I thought we were.
I thought we were too.
Okay.
I think we had. I think if we looked through them.
Yeah.
So
On
that was,
this 22nd.
yeah,
Okay.
that's the plan that was
Okay.
out there until we had
Yeah.
that grant for
Right,
Hortonville Road.
right.
September, sometime
Yeah.
this month. He's
Yeah.
coming. Okay.
We got all the culverts
Nice.
fixed, and
Right.
so we'll just have to go and scrub them out when he comes to pave them. Drop them down the
Yeah.
2 inches.
Oh, so
when he
yeah.
shim-
Fine grade it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shim coats it, yeah. But, okay.
Any questions on the treasurer's report? Any comments on the treasurer's report? Okay, moving on, fire department update. Bill?
I don't have too much to update, other than, we're still plucking away at the buildings, we're changing them from blue to red, it's just a slow process, but we get the time to pluck away at it. Next month, we have a couple guys going to West Virginia to, take that Swiftwater rescue course. So on the completion of that, we will have a full team now, there's, we do have a boat, I think I mentioned that before, where the team now is trained to use it. And after that, we will have a Swiftwater team, so in the event that we do have flooding like last time, we are equipped now with that team and the boat. So I think we're the only ones between Chester and Rutland City that have a boat in the town, so it's kind of a big deal. Other than that, nothing else is really going on. The first response is going well. I think we have 5 people now on the team, and we are pretty busy, and we average 1 to 2 calls a week every week, and we stay pretty steady, so. Working well with both the response times are pretty quick, so. Other than that, I have nothing else to report.
No,
Any
very,
questions or
very,
concerns?
very good.
Thank you.
I've heard a lot of good things from a lot of people on having a first response team, so I wanna congratulate the fire department and say thank you, especially for me on the board. So, moving on to rescue building water softener.
We've had it shut off for like a week or two, only because the drain that it was ran previous, I don't know if they ever caught it, but it was draining into the sink. The sink couldn't handle when that salt system would backflush where it does, and that drain couldn't handle, so it would do an overflow and go on the floor. And of course, I'm there all the time, so I caught it. So we've had it fixed, and it is back on again. I don't know. From what I was told, it doesn't feed the building up here. But I would be lying to you if I don't know either if it does or it doesn't. I was just told that it doesn't. So that come from Bob Beardmore. I'd like to trust what he says is pretty well
He probably put the system
to
in.
point. Well, that's a Culligan system. It's a Culligan system.
Oh, it's Culligan? Yeah, I don't know where,
So if you guys are still getting funky smells up here, I don't. It is on now, and it is back flushing, it is working. So if they continue to have issues up here, then I'm not sure if it is connected or.
It's
Okay.
hard to say because
I don't know.
when we had the old town garage down there, it came from there,
Mm-hmm.
and because when we took the water out of the old town garage, there was another line there, which I have no idea where it went, but I don't know if it came here or went. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the person that would know is no longer around. So
But see, we weren't getting a real funky smell down there. I mean, it's, if you're not using the building and the water sits in the,
Yep.
in the trap, you're gonna get a smell. But
Yep.
other than that, nothing out of ordinary. So.
Okay.
But it is back on. It is working.
So it's functioning and
It is
okay.
functioning.
Okay.
So I'd like to add one thing. This was actually something Carol wanted to put on, just so it's clear to you guys. I don't know the details, but I guess the sulfur smell in the bathroom at the town office has gotten worse over the last 3 to 4 weeks.
It could be.
Yeah, and so I think the thought was that, I think, from my understanding of Carol asking me to put this on the agenda, she had, I believed, ascertained that there was a connection between the water systems of the two buildings.
And I don't know.
I don't know either, but that's what she said. She had looked into it.
There's one thing you can do is
Dye it or
yes, do a dye, like a food grade
But I think-
coloring in.
We could just turn the water off down there and see if it's
You
stays
could
on
too.
here.
You could.
The other question
Don't
I
work
have
on it.
now is too, is
But
not
they
to
have-
sturdy, but if that is the case, then how would the monthly cost or the yearly cost of that unit down there?
Yeah.
Would that cost be cut in half with the fire department in town then
We'd have to
Just
work,
address it
we'd
then.
have to work something out
Okay.
because they're gonna use more water up here than you're gonna use in
Absolutely.
that building.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we'll address that once we can find that answer
I'd
out.
say just turn the water off
Yeah.
and see if Carol comes down.
Well, I don't know, I mean, I can shut it off down there.
So-
Yeah,
Or just kill the well and see what happens.
we figure it out, I guess we'll address it then, but if it is feeding up, then maybe have.
Yeah, we can look at that and find out where it's headed, because I don't know if it's coming here. It's long before me or a lot of us here, so.
Isn't there's a wellhead?
There is a wellhead, but I don't know if it goes down there then comes back here. I don't know that.
You guys all set with me then?
Yes, thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Okay. Listers update,
you
David.
got the master for the master bill for the hot water heater. Didn't get put on.
Oh, I think it's down below, isn't it?
Oh, all right. Sorry.
Yeah, it is number F.
It's
on
down,
the
it's
one.
down.
Okay.
below.
Letter F.
Sorry.
Okay, listers update.
I really have nothing to report. We're getting ready to enter all the transactions from April 1st. Now, the last year's tax bills are out, and so we'll have our drive arounds probably early in October and be scheduling the appraiser after that. So and we're not getting. There's no openings to get our reappraisal started sooner, so it won't
Right.
start till 2026.
Okay. Any questions or comments for the listers? All right. Planning Commission update?
I don't know if Andy, if you have anything. John said he didn't have anything, but you were gonna attend.
John said he didn't have anything. He and I talked, we don't have anything.
You have nothing, okay? Then, ACO update?
So Liz and Adam said they would send a report, but I did not receive it as of today. So I have not received their monthly report. I don't know if you guys, if either one of you guys got it, but
I didn't see anything.
I don't
I
have
think it
nothing.
might have just not been able to get done before she had to leave town, so we could table this till next month.
We will table this one till next month because we don't have the report. Okay, moving on to new business. Cider Days road closure. Kevin?
Thank you. I'm Kevin Holloway here representing the Mount Holly Community Association, and we're requesting road closure for the Cider Days event, which will be October 12th and 13th this year. Same road closure as years previous, Maple Hill, kind of right in front of the library there. During the hours of the event, which is Saturday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sunday noon to 4. We got a couple maps if anybody wants to pass them around. See where the road's gonna be closed. You got one.
Yeah, it's right in front of the library.
So it's pretty much the same as
Yeah.
any current closure that we've done in the past.
Yeah. Same event hours.
Yep.
Same area of road closure during the event.
And I think the one concern that we've always had is rescue, being able to get through in case of an emergency. Yeah. So we want to make sure we don't,
Encroach into the road.
that's correct, choke it off, so
Yeah.
if there is an emergency, they can get through.
I
Okay.
should probably, just because they're Ludlow doing it now,
Mhm.
call down there and notify them of the closure.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, you'll do that.
Yeah.
That was it, Art. The same thing with the fire trucks.
Yep, no, I
It's-
want to make sure we address the emergency response
Yeah.
that we need.
There's just too many older folks that live out there that,
Okay,
to close it completely off, it
Right.
would be it would take much more time to have to go all the way
Yeah.
around.
yeah. Yep,
So I guess if you're gonna keep it open, then you probably don't need to notify. Just make sure the vendors know to leave enough room for an ambulance with, or a
Yep.
fire truck
Yeah.
with.
yep, so, no, I'm okay with that. So it's basically the same as we've always had it, so I'll make a motion to accept the map as shown.
A second motion.
The ayes? Aye. Okay, farm stand relocation at the transfer station, Ashley Rose.
So I don't know if Ashley is there. If not, I can read her email to the select board. Okay.
I don't think she's here.
No.
Okay.
She's
So she
looking
just
to,
asked, she currently has a farm stand up on Sharon Lane, right across from the gates to the transfer station. And she wrote to the select board saying that she needs to move the farm stand, and she's wondering if she could move it to the inside of the transfer station within the gates of the transfer station, up against the fence there. And she noted she thought the answer might be no, but she thought it wouldn't hurt to ask. So there it is.
yeah, no, and again, it's a congested area, it's high traffic in and out, and I don't wanna have any distractions on the traffic in and out, and I don't think it's a good liability for the town. I believe that it would be a hard no on me. You, Jeff?
Could be a permit issue too.
Correct. And it's a hard no, I believe, from the board.
Okay, I will communicate that to her.
It doesn't hurt to ask.
It doesn't hurt to ask.
But we just don't feel
Yeah.
comfortable.
Nope.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, going on to ongoing and old business. Cider Days liquor license.
Okay, this is me again. So last time you guys just said that you'd approve it, but you wanted me to communicate to the applicant the rules around the festival permit, which he did agree to in writing to do the border, the kind of gatekeeping, the signage, having a bouncer type person there, all of the things associated with the permit regulations from the state. The one thing that he did point out, and I did verify this with the liquor board, is that the festival permit, there's been a few minor changes to the festival and event permits and what each of them entails from the state. And with a festival permit, sales of closed cans and bottles are allowed by the state. So if you issue the permit that was requested, part of that permit allows the sale of, cans and bottles. So just wanted to point that out because that is a change from, the previous.
Yes, in most of the festivals, I have noticed that do have alcoholic tents. They are starting to sell their 4-packs of beer and so forth.
Yeah, apparently that went into effect sometime late last year, maybe at the end of the year, December or something like that. So that's the update that the state side.
My biggest concern is his open containers that he's selling there in the 12-ounce glasses. They must remain on the property, and as long as he is committed to making that happen, I'm okay.
I think in just communicating when he sells those cans there's no open container law, correct?
Correct.
Right, so maybe just
Right.
we
In
can put
cars.
that in writing,
Yeah.
that he informs his customers.
Yep.
Okay, great. Yep. And he did write a note confirming all of those other regulations. Actually, he numbered them and, did seem to be very clear about, wanting to follow those. So,
Yep.
the liquor, just as a logistical point, I think on the desk in the select board office, or maybe in that packet next to you, Mark, is the original liquor license for you guys to sign, or for Carol to sign.
Yep.
So if you just make a note or give that back to her on her desk, I think she just needs that to return to the state.
Yeah, that's the one you got stapled with
Could be, yeah.
everything. Okay. So
Everything's
with
in.
that, as long as he commits to following the guidelines and the rules, I'll make a motion to accept the license and his commitment to follow the guidelines for the roped off area and the attendant making sure no alcoholic beverage leaves the premises.
I second it.
Jeff?
Um,
I made the motion. Is there a
I
second?
second it, yes.
The ayes? Aye. Okay, moving on to municipal planning grant housing study.
So I talked to John McCann. He was able to find some time to put the RFP together for the consultant. So we did make some forward progress. I think that was the hurdle that was hanging up my time getting that done. So we're gonna post that out and have a closing date, I think, of the 15th of October and see what responses we get. Right now we haven't done any reimbursements, so I think we just keep going and see if we get some responses.
Okay. Any questions?
Is this to create low income affordable housing?
It's just a housing study to address needs in the community for
Yeah.
housing needs.
Okay.
Yep.
Housing needs.
Housing needs.
Not
Yeah,
any new building?
It's just to address,
It's-
it's like a preliminary stage,
Yeah.
just
Okay.
which we can
So-
then use for other purposes, like
Yeah,
have a
like-
document.
One comment, in terms of new building going up, we just need to reflect the late 18th and early 19th into the 1980s building styles, very important. Make something beautiful and.
And there'll be community meetings as part of
Yeah.
this grant
Yep.
to get feedback, so
Yep.
more than welcome to attend those.
Yeah,
They'll be in
just
the,
bake
post
that
them in the
into
chit
it.
chat.
Yeah, make it beautiful.
Okay, perfect. Moving on to Homeland Security Grant for generator bid.
Yep, I got several bids. I did finally stumble upon one that was low in price and had terms that worked for us. So that is this Steady Power, who is also a GSA approved supplier. GSA is like Government Service Agency, and he gave us that federal pricing. So I'd like to move forward with that grant. There were some options: cold weather starting, which adds some money, and there's a transformer which allows us to get full output because it's a 3-phase generator, but you have to do a transformer to get full output for single phase. So that puts us at that number right there, which is $337 above the grant amount. So I can go back and ask for more money, but I'd recommend just to keep things, I think, simple.
Yep.
We ask, but we go forth, and the worst case is the town is $337. This does have the cam lock, which helps with the cabling, so it's less stuff that we would have to buy for the plug out there at the meter or at the disconnect.
At the disconnect, yep.
So there'll be some side costs, but this grant was never for the actual plug on the building.
Right.
So we requested 4 prices from 4 different electricians, and we've only gotten one that's interested, so we're just waiting for their price. And I wrote an RFP for that last month.
Oh, perfect.
So I'd like to make a motion to proceed with the purchasing of the generator from Steady Power for $25,236.
I'll second it. The ayes?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Can I put that in the?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to NRCS grant storm repair. Christine.
So she's on there. She was looking for other help other beyond me, just because I've been back behind on that grant in terms of RFP. I did write the RFP last night and sent it to NRCS for their review. I heard back from NRCS. They gave me thumbs up from one guy who was going to just get an opinion from a couple other people at NRCS. If I don't hear back from them in the morning, I can send that on to several engineering firms. He did comment that the schedule, I revised the schedule and condensed it a little bit, was aggressive, which I do tend to agree, between engineering and construction. But I did talk to Josh Carvajal this morning and ran by permitting, and because of the urgency of the situation, he's willing to push that permit through, and usually wetlands, state wetlands, and Army Corps will do the same. So I think it's aggressive, but we can get through it. I'll just double check the end grant timeline, see if I can get another couple weeks on the back end.
Okay.
I don't know if that, and I'll utilize Caitlin more just to make sure I stay on point.
Yep.
Does that sound okay, Christine?
She's muted.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Thank you very much for following up on that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, Josh was talking with us this morning about it.
Yeah.
So he was there.
No, perfect. Any questions? Okay, thank you, Jeff. Transfer station signage review.
So you guys have a quote in there. That's just what we talked about last month, getting new signs put up at the transfer station to outline all of the rules and guidelines. I did create a new kind of one-pager with all of the updated guidelines around, scrap metal, recycling, all of the, what can and can't go in the landfill, et cetera. And Carol has those now to hand out to residents when they buy dump stickers. So basically a version of that that's about, Cully says there on the quote, but I think about 2.5 feet by 3.5 feet, something like that. So pretty sizable signs. And the quotes from Awesome Graphics. So just wanted you guys to review that before I told them to go forward.
Yeah, no, we need to upgrade the signage there. We need to make sure we're covering all the concerns and issues at that transfer station. So I'll make a motion that we.
Before we make motion,
Yes.
is this gonna be the same sign outage as number 10 on this list?
No, that's.
No, this is
Is it
something,
just for that?
This
and then-
review and
then
si-
for
this-
Signage is gonna be later.
no, this review and sign the orders is for us to sign the payroll information and
Okay.
documents for the
Okay,
town.
sign.
Sign,
Okay.
literally
Is
signatures.
the other one gonna be about signs?
This one is about new signage at the transfer station
Okay,
for,
number 10 I meant. That's all
for,
I'm asking.
10 is where you
That's
physically
kind of what I'm
sign-
hanging out for.
10 is signatures.
10 is signatures.
Not-
Okay,
not-
so that'll go under citizen comments.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ken?
Yeah, I saw what Caitlin designed in the chit chat, and that looks very good. My request is, like, it's great to have all that information, and it probably takes, 2 or 3 minutes to read it all. My request is a simple sign on the open container, the one that filled up in 2 shifts this past week, that simply says, to use this container, you need a sticker, or with an S, stickers, because, so many people come in, they dump. It's clear we need a sticker on the bag. We can do the metal, we can, electronics. But so many people are buzzing in, unloading, and zipping out before Kevin or I can get over there. So my request is some type of in-your-face sign that just says, you need a sticker to use this container. In Ludlow, it's a $5 minimum to use their open demolition container. So for here, it would be a $3 minimum. So if somebody's throwing in an old wagon, well, it's a sticker. And it's very clear, a couch is 5 stickers and this and that and that. But so that's my request. It's considered in the future. It's just more of an in-your-face 4 or 5 words, because that's all some people can handle. They're not going to read a big,
Right.
A lot of people do, but then there's a lot that don't. So that's my request.
Yep.
And I like what Caitlin has done. Move forward with it. It's great. So
Yeah, we
that's all.
have to do something to put, again, awareness to the folks that are using the transfer station, because, again, Clinton can talk more on it. We've had some non-compliant situations that the state has come down on us, and if we are continuing to be non-compliant, we will lose the transfer station rights, and then everybody will be traveling to Hubbard or up to Gleason. So we need to make sure that information is out there.
And I think we could just get a chloroplast little
Absolutely.
plastic signs.
Absolutely.
I know you told me about this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
Give me the wording.
My wording is just
Stickers required.
Sticker, and in parentheses an S. Stickers required. 2 words.
Yep.
That's even better than my idea.
How about just see attendant to use the dumpster?
Yeah, but people, that's
okay.
too much. To see the
No,
attendant,
we can get little plastic. Awesome Graphic does it because they do them for me for different things. They'll do little plastic.
It's probably
Yep.
cheap item.
So we can do that as well. So
That would help us. Thank you.
If you guys want, when I tell them to go ahead with this quoted order, I can ask them to just mock up that simple stickers required.
A 2x4
3,
sign or a 30,
4.
something not too overkill.
Maybe just one
Yep.
and a backup when it wears out.
So two little signs that say stickered required.
18 by 2.
Yep.
Or
What? 18 by,
18 by 24
okay, great. Yep, I can do that.
or thereabouts.
So I'm gonna make a motion to
Another question.
yes.
Did I hear you right? We're being graded by our garbage, like it's not being, the proper stuff is not in the proper things?
Correct.
And
Correct. There's
2 different signs at the dump as we speak that say you can use recycle number 5, and then another one says 1 through 3.
Not to that level, more just cleanliness and
It's-
care of the whole facility and like things
Well,
like oils.
it's obvious you
batteries.
don't put naphtha in a can and throw it into the garbage. I understand that, it's hazardous material. Is that been a problem?
the biggest thing is the wood pile.
Housekeeping.
Yeah,
Housekeeping.
nails in people's feet.
It's not that. It's painted wood cannot go in. Anything that's
And there's
shellac or
arsenic
garnish
in
can't do it.
pressure treated wood.
In the metal area.
Yep.
Propane tanks, air conditioners, humidifiers, dehumidifiers, refrigerators, anything that has a refrigerant in it is
Right.
not allowed, and it's
Agreed.
been dumped there. So that's
I
why
just wanted to,
stuff has been moved up for steel into a container, make it easier for the cleanup, and it's a little more easier for the attendants to monitor.
Yep.
So,
Nobody's combing through the
Harder
dumpster.
for people to dump too.
Nobody's
They
combing
have to
through the
lift it.
yes. So, with all that, I'm gonna make a motion to purchase the signs, including the 2 other signs that say sticker required, from Awesome Graphic.
I'll second the motion.
The ayes?
Aye.
Town office, water heater review and approval. I believe we had one bid.
Yeah, so I sought quotes from 4 plumbers. 2 came out and took a look. We only received a quote from 1. You guys have that there.
Yep.
And this quote is for full new installation. One of the other plumbers who took a look thought that the current unit might be able to be repaired, but then he didn't submit a quote. And I did, follow up with all of them. So this one is for a fully new water heater and, new installation. One question I had about the quote, and I think we can ask is, there's an allowance there for new pipes and fittings. I'm not really sure why that would be needed since there's an existing
I think
unit
that
there,
was for relocation of the water heater so it's not crawling on their belly to get under the crawl station.
Okay, yeah.
And
They
I
had
think
also said though in person they were okay with the crawl space, so I guess we should probably just clarify is my only note there.
Yeah, I think we need to clarify that and
Yeah, at least for insulation. I mean, it'd probably be, this is
Yeah.
probably not for relocating it. 'Cause it
So- So this was from Masters, plumbing and heating. It came in at a subtotal to replace it, install it with all the new plumbing and fittings that they need and dispose of the existing materials. They had a total price of $1,855 with a 15% discount, reducing it to a total of $1,576.75.
One thing I'll also say is when they did submit the quote, they said, they wanted to be friendly to the town and they offered a 15% discount, but there was a budget level that the town needed to stay under that we should let them know. So, I just said thank you and we'd get back to them, but, just keep in mind if that's, that was on offer.
Yep.
Can we just vet out the location of it and see if it moving it approve as is?
Right.
Somehow.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We can approve this
We have
as
no hot
is and
water
see
here.
what the difference is because there is no hot water. We can approve this as and see what the additional cost to move it out so it's easier.
Approve for this budget amount and see if they can
Yeah. See
put it
what,
down on this end.
yes. So I'll make a motion to approve this quote for this dollar value, with the exception that I want to know what additional cost would be to move the water heater out so it's easily accessible for future fixing or repairing.
Second the motion.
The ayes? Aye.
All right, so I'll follow up with them and I'll just get back to you guys with whatever they
Okay,
say.
thank you, Caitlin. And going on to G, review attorney's comments on Mount Holly School well installation.
So she sent these over today by email. She was a little behind in her deadline, but so you don't have them printed there. But essentially, I will just say into the record what she summarized. Okay, so what the lawyer said is that the new MOU that the school district is submitting looked good and straightforward. Overall, this well project will have significantly less physical impact on the town's property than the proposal that the select board approved in 2021. So it's less invasive, essentially. The only intrusion on town property now will be laying and connecting source and return water lines to the town well. So the previous proposal included installation of a storage tank and other components. That's no longer even being considered. They found another way to do it. The one note that the town's council made was that there's a small revision regarding indemnification. The school board had already indemnified the town to protect the town in the event that there were any fines around permitting. But she made a few tweaks to the language to make it a little bit stronger. She said the existing language was probably fine, but she souped it up a little bit. And then what she said is basically the board should, review it, and if the board is comfortable with the concept, she would reach out to the council for the school districts just to, get clarity on the timing of the permit application changes so that the town would know exactly what the timeline was for the project.
Okay. Did that get emailed out to us, Caitlin?
Yeah, let's see. It came in today, and I emailed it to you last night at 8:18 p.m. So you guys have it, but let me know if you need another copy.
Okay. I'm sure it's there. I haven't had a chance to look at my emails yet, but I will do so and go through it. Then we can attach this to next month's,
We have more time to review it.
so we have more time to go through it and review it, so we'll attach it to next month's agenda.
Great, sure. I'll ask too, I don't know if there was a deadline for response. It's possible that it was before next month, but I'll review that. It's possible we might need to have a special meeting for you guys to approve
Okay.
or not approve. But I'll find out.
Okay. Thank you, Caitlin.
Are they using the water line that they put in?
I believe so. Yeah, the one they drilled already, directionally drilled last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
It looks like it. Yeah. They're just not putting it. There was a
They're not,
tank.
yeah, they're
Sorry,
not putting
there
that
was a-
reservoir.
3,000 gallon
Yeah.
reservoir tank.
Yeah, they're not doing that now. It's just a direct line.
So they'll clean the ours and.
So whatever.
done with it.
Yep. Yep. Okay, moving on to citizens' comments. So this is where it's everybody's, and I will say, because of the dust control situation, we will keep this civil, or I'll stop it and end it immediately. So yes,
Okay, this is about dust control, and I'm just looking for a solution here, okay? My family's getting sick, I'm getting sick. All I was asking is, can we try to do something to do it? Even little steps would help. How about, this is why I asked you about signage. How about putting a sign there, slow down, please keep the dust down, something. I mean, if, I'll take a whole sheet of plywood and make the ugliest thing you want to see to get their attention.
and I am truly concerned, and that's why I gave Clinton a tank to
Understood.
initially start the dust control. Jeff is going to reach out. We're going to get a pallet of calcium chloride,
Excellent.
and we will continue to put that on the road to help mitigate
Thank
the
you.
dust.
And that's step two.
So-
Can we address it with signs too, to slow down on that corner? Because like I
There
said,
is
we have kids drifting.
There is speed limits
We
out
can
there.
we can do better. We can
Call
reach
the
out to the
sheriff.
sheriff and have them sit out there for 2 weeks in a row,
Fine with me.
and then
So,
see. 'Cause
absolutely.
they need something.
Thank you.
Yep.
I would also just like to say, I do appreciate the work Clifford does and, Mr. Garrow and everybody else on the roads. I'm just a little upset when my wife's going back and forth to the hospital all the time. And people are worried about $30,000 and, that's nothing compared to my medical bills for my wife and myself.
And it's not
And,
it's not a
I'm not trying to
dollar.
bankrupt the town by any
It's
means.
not a dollar concern. It's something that is not set into the budget.
Well-
When the budgets are set, and unfortunately,
I understand, no, I get that, I
just
know
don't
I
have
know a
it
little bit
at
about
this-
money, if
at
you don't
this
have
point.
it, but
No.
we should look into finding it.
yeah, and that's why we got quotes out there to see what we can
And I'd
do.
like to also thank the, rescue department and most of Mount Holly, I mean, I do have one more thing to say, and this isn't gonna go over good with a lot of people, but, I've been watching Mount Holly Bulletin, and, some of the comments made to my neighbors and my friends was uncalled for. It's absolutely disgusting, and it should be illegal. But you have the right, freedom of speech to say what you want. I'm worried about my neighbor's safety and my
Okay,
own. We are 4 people over 60,
I wouldn't.
way out in the.
this is really not the forum. I get it. I understand it. I don't know what the bulletin and I don't know what people
No,
are saying.
I understand it.
So-
I'm just bringing it to your attention.
So-
Maybe you'd like to read some of the
So-
comments that were made. And looking in windows, they're saying what's in our houses.
Yeah,
I mean, that's criminal.
I don't, and again, you have the right, and if they're looking in your windows and peeping in your windows, you
I
have
don't
the,
know if they're looking, they wanna,
You have the-
tell the whole world that,
You-
that they, what's in our houses.
you have the right at that
Am I
point
right
to
or
call.
wrong?
You have the right to call the state police if they're on your property
I'm trying
and,
to keep it in Mount Holly. I'm trying
So-
to keep it among us so we could
So-
live together nicely. And
So-
I wanna get along with people.
so, okay.
I'm not
Do,
anti-gun, any of that stuff.
do noted, yes.
Okay, so, Evelyn Kelly Costa here at 166 City Hill Lane. We've been up here since the 1940s. I'm sure you all remember my father at some of these meetings. Anyway.
He was a good guy. I know him well. I know him well.
This is the gorge of the town
So.
select board. Anyway, I think there's been some kind of change in the aggregate that we're using on the roads, because this particular dust situation seems to be something new. I haven't noticed. I mean, we've been up here for 80 years, we had dirt roads, paving.
Me too.
So something is going on with this, but the fact is that if it turns out to be a silica from dolomite, which I looked it up, all out there, stuff causes cancer, silicosis, and so does the fresh limestone, both of them categorized as a 1A carcinogen. And we're breathing this stuff in whenever our truck goes by. So my question is testing. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. All I have are the industry standards and.
Yeah, I don't know what the manufacturer of the material does for testing of their crushed stone.
Right, they don't.
So,
That, I was
So-
doing all the phone calling today, the state doesn't do it, there are actually private companies that do testing, and there are kits. So, I will do it myself personally, but I also think in terms of protecting the citizenry, just so we know what we're talking about here, and I'm not speculating about what's in or not in this dust, I think we should look into some kind of test. Because if indeed you're being handed, we're paying for future cancer cases with this particular batch of aggregate, maybe we should be looking for something else. Just putting that out there.
it's something we'll ask moving forward. We can ask the questions moving forward. I know our first mitigation will be the calcium to alleviate the dust. So we'll start there, and I know they already started on that road. What day was it?
It was last
Friday.
Friday, no, we know, we saw it, we
Yep.
understand that.
So
So my questions are about this material, should we be rethinking, like next time you put stuff down? What else is there, does not have this potential carcinogenic load when things get dry like this, because it seems to be an expensive.
I don't know if it's a carcinogen or it's not a carcinogen.
Well, that's
I don't have
what-
an answer for that.
Right, but that's what happens when you grind limestone, the dust.
So
it's the
I don't know
dust.
if it was. Is it a limestone that comes from SLC? I don't know.
Wedge.
It's ledge. It's coming from the stone.
Right, so it's
So-
either, it's the dolomite, I
So-
looked it up, it's marble and dolomite, the 3/4 minus pack is marble
So-
and crushed dolomite. They're both 1A carcinogens in dust form, that's the problem, so what I'm asking for is testing. So I'm not just making this up, but do we actually have some hard material, and then you can turn around and say, whoa,
That's
maybe
my
we
street.
should be looking
I
for
took my finger
something
out like that on the
else
leaves.
to use on our
That's what I'm
roads, to
breathing.
see who's using
Nobody
what
seems to
in
care,
other
see?
places. So that's what
That's
I'm.
right, wait.
Pretty much every town, unfortunately, is
Come on.
using
In the
it.
Northeast, Vermont, I mean,
It's all. If Shrewsbury uses the same thing, Clarendon uses it, Rutland uses
okay,
it.
well, I'm just talking about. just-
We gotta figure it out.
Okay. Just
We
putting
have to
that out
figure
there.
it out.
There's a picture of a leaf I wiped off.
It's on my driveway too, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, come up and see the whole road, it's
Oh.
up 20 feet in the air. And all the
Yeah,
vegetation.
it's not just there. It's
It's in other places.
I have a private driveway and I have the same thing. It's dry, the dust is out there, and I wish I had a snap on my finger answer to fix it all, but
No,
right now
I'm
we
just gonna
don't.
make
We're,
it squeak.
we're,
Well, my
we're,
driveway doesn't do that, actually, and it's older. It's
And-
different material, that's what I'm saying.
Mine too.
and I think your material is
I'm sure it's
from the, no, I think it's from the same thing, cause my brother put it in. So,
A while ago.
my brother Chris, yep.
Mine's
A while ago.
So, but it's the same material,
Shrewsbury Management.
unless you've top coated it since then.
I don't know,
So,
but it doesn't make that.
so you don't have the speed of the vehicles on it
Brings it up.
as well.
Okay.
So you have the vehicles that crush the stone, and it does make more dust. But
And you're not grading the driveway too. So.
right,
No,
right.
we're not.
right. So it does make a difference.
Okay.
But we're taking steps. We'll move forward on trying to do dust mitigation to alleviate some of the dust. I'm not saying we're going to alleviate it all because we can't do what we used to do in the 70s. Use motor oil and put it down on the road.
Well, that's what I'm saying too. We got to be careful with applying too much
Wait,
dust
what?
control too.
That's a real
At-
thing?
There's-
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah.
Water, oil, and sand. And
Yep.
it worked good.
Yep, they used to use motor oil many years ago on high traveled roads. It would pack it down really hard and you had no dust for a long time. But
Yeah,
Now,
but.
the study been done on groundwater from these new stuff
Yeah,
you're using?
that's
There
right.
has been? What's the results?
but moving on from dust control, because we are working it. Is there any other concerns, comments? Yes.
I understand that the parents have to take their kids to school because the Mount Holly school is not running. They drop them off every morning
The
and
bus?
they just,
I
and they
don't
pick them
know
up in the
that.
There's no
afternoon.
driver. They don't.
Yeah, they don't have a driver, but that would be a school
no-
that would be a school board
Oh,
or
school
school
board.
question.
Oh, so
Yes,
you-
it's
yeah.
not, the town doesn't,
Yeah, no, not involved.
nope.
I noticed this afternoon when I was driving, the railroad was coming and the red light didn't work.
It's making it very hard on the
Okay.
parents.
There's a
Oh,
phone
take
number
the kids to school.
that, it's right on there, I think, if it's not working, any person can call.
I thought they'd be
Yep.
involved because
Okay.
Mount Holly kids go
I'll
to
look
the
at it.
some
Conductor was honking the horn.
Yep.
I imagine
School
someone
board.
can't hear.
Right?
And
having a hard time.
No, absolutely, I know somebody from the railroad, I'll reach out to them and have them look at it. Cause typically it's a wire that's broke off, because they kinda attach a wire to both sides that will do a short out, which causes the lights to work, so I'll talk to him. Yep. Okay. Announcements. I don't have any announcements on the agenda. We have to review and sign the orders. Executive session Title 1 VSA S313A3 personal issues. I don't believe we have an executive session. So with that, meeting is adjourned, and I thank everybody from the town for participating.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.